Hi everybody, it's more quarantine cooking with Carolyn. You know, Thing has kind of a busy day today. He's going to be loaning his quite copious construction skills to a friend today. So yes, I thought that it would be nice to get sort of something for dinner prepared ahead of time, and then I can just pop it in the oven when he calls and says he's on his way. So I'm going to show you how to make a kind of a skinnier version of chimichangas. Now, if you've ever had a chimichanga in a restaurant, you know that they are absolutely delicious. They are so good. But they are deep fried and they are covered in cheese. And while delicious, they are very heavy on the calories. So I'm going to try and show you how to make a sort of a lightened up version pretty easily today. So we're going to start with, I have about a cup and a half here of shredded chicken. Now, earlier this week, I showed you how to make chicken, just to cook chicken breast in the crock pot. And this is some of that same chicken. Remember I said it's really good to have on hand for all sorts of things? Well, guess what? It's coming in really handy this morning. So, to this, I'm going to add about 1/3 of a cup of onion. And I'm using red onion here because that's what I had in my fridge, and I just wanted to use it up. But you can use white or yellow, whatever you got. And then I'm going to add kind of a hefty tablespoon of green chilies, and these are the kind that you get in the can, like that. And if you are sensitive to hot food, you might want to leave these out, but they really are fairly mild. And then I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of a lower fat cheese. I'm using a Mexican blend here. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of garlic powder and about a 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder. And I'm putting a little less. I might actually put more, except I know my chili powder tends to be really hot, so I'm going to go just with about a 1/2. And then I'm adding about a 1/2 cup of salsa. Actually, I think I'm going to add a little bit less because that might make it too soupy. And then we'll see if I need a little bit more. And then I'm going to mix it all up. There we go. And I think I can take a little bit more of that salsa. There we go. There we go, yep. And then I'm gonna mix that up really good. So you wanna mix everything and just kind of get it all mixed up. I'm gonna set that to a side for a minute. And then I'm going to use these low carb tortillas, and that helps. And I like these because they are really soft like a tortilla should be. Sometimes you get these lower carb or tortillas, and they're not very soft or nice. And these tend to be pretty nice. So we're going to take some of that filling, and that might be a little too much. There we go. And we're going to put it on the tortilla, and I like to put it just left of sort of the middle. And then we're going to fold it up like this and tuck it in just like that and roll it up just like that. Then I'm going to spray my pan here and put that there, and I'm going to give that a little spray as well. And then when Thing calls me, and I'll do the rest of these later, but when Thing calls tonight, I can just pop these in a 400-degree oven for 20 minutes until they get brown on the outside and hot on the inside, and we'll be ready to eat. While my chimichangas are baking, I thought I'd show you how to make guacamole, because guacamole is a natural accompaniment with a chimichanga, right? So when you buy your avocados, you want it to have just a little bit of give to it. Now, when I bought this one, it was still just a touch hard, and that was about 5-6 days ago. And this may actually be a little overripe, but we're going to make it work for our purposes. So I cut it in half like that, twist, And then we get rid of the pit. So this is how you get rid of your pit. Just tap the side of your knife into a bowl or on the side of the trash can. Then I just like to kind of cube it a little bit on the inside. I think I'm going to try and avoid that little bit that's really brown there, if I can. And then this is all going to go into the mini food prep. Now, if you don't have one of these mini food preps, you can do this with a fork or with a potato masher, and it would work just the same. Let's see if we can get a little bit more of the yummy good stuff out of here. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to add my favorite salsa, jarred salsa, and I don't measure this. I would guess this is maybe 1/4 cup. And garlic powder, and I like it fairly garlicky, so I add a fair amount, probably a good teaspoon. And salt. And let me just get the avocado off my fingers. There we go. And then, oops. Oh, come on. There we go. And then just grind it up a little bit, and then you want to give it a taste to see if it needs more garlic, more salt, more salsa, whatever. In my professional opinion, more garlic. And maybe a little more salt. I get kind of a kick out of these things. In the produce section, you can buy a packet mix for guacamole. And I always get a big kick out of that. I'm like, why? Here in Colorado, most of us keep salsa in our kitchen. Most of us. So it's just an avocado away from being guacamole, in my opinion. So there you go. Guacamole in about 3 minutes. So here is my skinny chimmy done. And I had some green chili in the freezer, so I'm going to serve a little bit of that over my skinny chimmy here. But you can also serve it with just salsa if you want. And then, of course, I'm also going to serve it with that guacamole we just made a little bit ago, and some chips, of course. And then I've just added some canned refried beans. By the way, here's a tip when you're cooking canned refried beans. When you put the beans in the pan, add a little bit of water, maybe about 1/4 cup or so. Stir it in as you go, stir the beans as you go, and it will make the beans less stiff and more creamy to eat. So here you go, guys. A skinny chimmy and homemade guacamole. It doesn't get much better than this, so give this a try. I know you've got this.